In the heart of the grizzly country, one hunter faces a life-or-death situation. Today's video is about a dedicated hunter, Sam Kezar. Sam Kezar ventures into grizzly bear country armed with his Glock Model 20 and months of intense training. Little did he know that his preparation would be tested when he came face to face with an enraged grizzly bear. Will Sam's weapon show no mercy for the bear, or will he become the next victim in the animal's deadly path? Join us as we witness the intense showdown between Sam and the grizzly bear. Welcome to Amazing Animal Stories. Sam Kezar is a dedicated hunter who prioritizes hunting in his life above all else. Alongside his professional career and family, he dedicates his time to hunting and thinking about hunting. In 2016, he decided to go elk hunting and invested his time in learning everything he could. For 3 years, he went to Colorado to hunt elk before finally killing a bull. This fed his determination to go elk hunting every year. Last year, he drew a Wyoming tag for a unit just outside Yellowstone, which is known for being grizzly country. Sam was well aware of the potential dangers of grizzly bears in Wyoming, just outside the Yellowstone National Park. Despite his knowledge, he believed that as long as he was smart about it, he would not have any problem. He purchased a Glock Model 20 and 10mm to further equip himself. He'd researched and found it to be the best choice in bear country due to its power and reliability. Sam also researched binocular harnesses and found the marsupial gear harness and their soft holster system to be the best option. This system allowed him to have right-hand draw right on his belly, which he had read was preferable to having a gun on his hip or on his pack. With this setup, he could quickly access his gun when needed, even in the face of an unexpected bear attack. After purchasing his gear, Sam treated his pistol the same way he did his bow. He was committed to practicing with purpose, shooting every day or every other day. He would put his chest rig on, pick a spot on the wall, and practice drawing, getting a grip, and obtaining his target. He did dozens of reps in those drills, then made sure that the weapon was clear and dry fired a dozen times. He did this all summer long, in addition to practicing with his bow, ensuring he was fully prepared for any situation that may arise during his exploration. Toward the end of summer, Sam was able to buy one more box of ammo, so he had 100 rounds, and he started live fire practice in his backyard. He would fill a gallon water jug, set it on a log about the height of a bear, and then practice quick drawing his pistol and making a shot to hit the target. He mainly practiced not being aware, and then suddenly having to react to a grizzly bear. He knew that the worst case scenario was being surprised and having to react, so he wanted to be prepared. Sam believed that pepper spray might sometimes work, but a firearm would work every time he pulled the trigger. He'd watched a lot of videos and read a lot about which was better, pepper spray or a gun. From his experience, he knew that his gun was going to be number one, and pepper spray would be his backup. Both men were fully equipped with bows, guns, and bear spray for their hunting trip. The first day of their excursion was full of anticipation, but their efforts yielded no results. Surrounded by towering white bark pines and clusters of dense spruce, the two hunters were unsuccessful in their attempts to capture any prey. During the day, Kezar aimed his bow at a bull elk, but was unable to kill it. The wounded animal ran off, and the hunters lost track of the herd. The following day, the men returned to the area, hoping all to find the elk herd again. However, it seemed as if the animals had disappeared without a trace. Kezar and his friend Jared decided to change their tactics and drive to a higher location in hopes of better luck. As they ventured out on foot, they carefully surveyed their surroundings. Suddenly, they discovered fresh bear droppings, and the hunters prepared themselves for any possible encounters. Despite the risk, they continued walking and eventually stumbled upon another sign. As the two hunters trudged through the thick timbers, their eyes caught sight of a large, deep set of scratches on a tree trunk. Without much time to take in their surroundings, they pressed on, only to find themselves in front of an even denser patch of spruce. Suddenly, a loud, rustling noise caught their attention, followed by an earth-shattering roar that shook the ground beneath their feet. Although Sam Kezar and Jared had successfully hunted and killed 2 black bears with his bow before. This time, it was different. This was an enormous, enraged grizzly bear that came charging at him with all its might. The 2 men immediately yelled out, "Bear!" As Kezar shouted, he realized he was holding his bow and gun. He had no memory of drawing the gun, but his instincts had kicked in before he even knew it. His months of training had finally paid off as he watched the massive grizzly bear charging toward him. Kezar hoped it was just a bluff, so he shot at the bear's feet to scare it away. However, the bear remained unfazed and continued to charge. Kezar realized that it was no bluff at all. Without a second thought, he fired his gun multiple times as fast and as accurately as possible, hoping to ward off the colossal animal. As the grizzly bear charged toward him, Sam fired multiple rounds at the animal. He could see its fur ripple, indicating that he had hit it, but the bear kept coming. Suddenly, Kezar lost his footing and fell backward. At the same time, Jared, who was standing a few steps away, grabbed the bear spray and took the safety off. However, the wind suddenly changed direction, and the spray blew back into Jared's face. Thinking quickly, Jared fired 2 shots at the bear, hitting it in the chest and causing it to stop. Kezar then fired another shot, this time hitting the bear in its hind end. Despite the men yelling at the animal to leave, the grizzly bear remained stationary, sitting back on its haunches some 90 yards away. With no choice, Kezar fired another shot. The bear finally retreated into the trees, eventually succumbing to its injuries. After notifying the authorities, Sam and Jared cooperated with the investigation into the incident. Upon reporting the incident to the state warden, Sam was informed that the case would be treated as a federal investigation since the animal he killed might be endangered. However, after thorough investigation, it was determined that Kezar had acted in self-defense. The authorities also discovered that the grizzly bear was a female and had given birth to a cub, whose paw prints were found nearby. Sadly, the death of the mother meant that the cub was unlikely to survive without its mother's milk. The cub's chances of survival were minimal, and it was highly probable that it would die soon after. Although the unfortunate fate of the cub saddened Sam, he was proud of his quick thinking and marksmanship. He felt grateful that he had taken the time to practice shooting, enabling him to protect himself and his friend when he needed it most. Even the authorities had commended his abilities, stating that his quick actions had undoubtedly saved his life. Out of the 7 bullets that Kezar had fired, 3 had hit the bear, proving his accuracy and skill.